Okay, this is a P-hook, by the way. I didn't mention that. It's a 14 millimeter, so that's about a P. And also, I'm using like 1.5" strips is what I'm using for this size hook on this particular one. That's getting ready to rip. I'm going to show you how I add another piece of material, and so you can see that. A lot of you have seen my other videos. So here you're going to fold it over. We're going to do the no-sew method. You fold it over just slightly. You put a little snip in here. Okay, so this is the one that's attached to the rug. Here's another piece. I've got both ends, and I've already got those snipped. You do it the same way. You fold that over like that. You do a snip so you have it in both of them. You're going to take one end that you're adding and put it on top like this. You're going to take the other end of the one that you're adding and slide it underneath and slip it through both of them. Now I'm going to pull Mr. Cameraman. You get bumps sometimes here, so I'm just warning you. And here we just give it a little tug like that. Put this way and that way, and you've added it. That's the same way you would change colors too if you decided you were changing colors. We just happen to be using the same color. Okay, so we're going to continue up here and show you how to get around this first corner and how to blend that tail. This cherry wood also, the finish on this gets slicker and nicer the more you use it. So when you first get your hook, it's a little bit rougher, and just in a very short period of time, like in a couple hours, you can already feel the difference of the slickness of it, which is really interesting. That quick I could tell the difference. I don't know if you buy one, if you'll have it quite that quick, but I was amazed. So we're going to continue on. I really like this. I bought 4 sheets of this I happened to find in a thrift store. I buy my sheets in thrift stores most of the time. I buy them at yard sales. Sometimes they're my own, sometimes they're gifted. But I do get questions occasionally. These are all sheets. I do not advocate that you use anything but sheets. I use 100% cotton whenever possible, and sometimes I use a cotton poly blend because you can't always find 100% cotton. Don't use synthetic sheets. When you're cutting them or ripping them, you'll get runs, and you'll be very frustrated by using synthetic sheets. Also, sheets really wash well. I really don't advocate that you use fabric. A lot of people do, but I find for longevity and continued wash and use, for the practicality of I want them to be functional, not just cosmetic, I would recommend that you use sheets. Some people just want to buy fabric because they want it to look a certain way, and that would be your choice, but usually for washing, it does not usually wash as well overall, not repeatedly like sheets. I have videos on that, how to make your rag last for years. Okay, so you went into the very last hole right there. That was 1. You're going to do 3 stitches in that same single crochets in the same hole. So that was 1. You're going to go back in. You're going to do stitch number 2. This is how I do the end of my oval as well. But I'm doing a little bit different technique now for hiding my tail. So you might want to watch this even if you've seen me do my ovals. There's 2. We're going to do the 3rd one in there. Make sure it's loose enough so we can get around that corner. See how we're getting around the corner? We're going to be flipping it. There's still a point there. And here is your tail, and what I suggest is you lay it along there and you're going to be hiding it. So there was 3 single crochets in that hole. Now we're going to be going back to the point. And we're hiding that tail as we go. So don't have to count. We're just going in every stitch as we go down. And when we get to the point, I'll show you what you do there. Well, maybe I won't show you because I've got the next one I think I'm going to show you. We're going to switch right on over. You see how you did that? All right. When you get down here, you're going to put 4 stitches. Let me show you that. You're going to put 2 stitches in this one and 2 stitches in that one. So when you get to the other end, it's a little bit bigger. You're going to put 2 stitches here and 2 stitches there and come right back up. Okay, so we're going to switch over to watch how we're going to do the point at a little bit bigger stage. Here we've added a color and swapped out and added a different color. So I started with this color and I switched over just part way through. And let me show you how to just continue on how you're going to do a little bit bigger corner and decide how to get around without having a buckle on the ends. So still, it's just all single crochet other than your chain stitch that you started with, your initial 43 stitches. So now we're going to be getting, here we're coming to the corner. We have to get around the corner. Okay, see how, if you're looking at that, that doesn't go easily to that. So I'm going to go ahead and add an extra stitch in that same hole. So there's already one, we're going to do 2 single crochets in that same hole. And here you go, here's another hole. I'm going to do a single crochet and see how we're sitting and see if we think that's enough or whether we need 2 in there. Now, I don't want it to buckle and cup up. It will cup up if you don't add enough stitches. If you add too many stitches, it will start getting loose like leaf lettuce. So you got to be careful of that too, but it tends to want to cup up if you don't want to add enough. So you put 2 in there, and then you get a third hole right here, and you're going to put 2 in that one as well in order to get it around. And we're going to head towards that point and show you how we did that point. Then after the point, I'll pause for just a minute and get you back down to the center point and show you how to grab those 3, skip those 3 stitches again to continue to keep the inner point looking nice and clean. So let's go ahead and get down here as quickly as possible. This was a little bit tighter stitching. I have to work hard to not be too tight. I tend to crochet very tight. It's not necessarily, that's why I have to use the other hand, not like a regular crocheter would do. They kind of slip it off. I have taught people who are crocheters how to make these rugs, and they still do a looser stitch and they slip it off. And I thought, oh no, that's not going to look nice. It looked lovely. So there's nothing wrong with doing that technique. I just crochet pretty tight, and so that's why it looks like this and why I have to use the other hand. See how I'm using the throat of this hook? How it slides down, and this part is regulating it for me. When I've found hooks that have big handles or that fit my hand, they have a really choppy small area here, and I can't push it down, and it's not conducive to rug making. It might be for regular crocheting, but it is not conducive to rug making and using this wider type of thread. Now see, I want to show you something. I am not happy with this where it's been attached here. Okay, so I'm not happy the way it laid. See how it's sitting here? I'm going to go ahead and trim. I'm showing you so you'll know what to do yourself, okay? I'm trying to more show you how to do it quickly. You can make these adjustments and fix things yourself. But see, I'm going to fold that in when I get to it, like that, so it's more hidden. Okay, so let me show you. See how we're close now? See if I can hide it a little better so we can like it. Okay, see, that looks better already. Now, of course, when you come back with your next row, it will hide those things some too. When it's your last outer row, you have to be more particular so you don't have places in it that you're unhappy with. And it's kind of something you fine-tune. I can't tell you every single detail, though I do have over 60 videos at this point. There's stuff to be learned, and I have a lot of in a playlist that's information and help videos. It has a lot of little things like that. If you go into there and you want to get some other pointers, some people really want all the details, other people just want you to get to it. So I have to find a happy medium to try to make all my viewers, or as many of them, happy with how quickly I move or not move. So I try to gear more towards a beginner and hope the others will be patient. When you come to a class that I teach, it's done in a slower form because I'm trying to teach you everything, and I'm trying to give you one-on-one attention whenever it's necessary. Okay, so here's going to be your center point right there. So we're going to do one more single crochet in a hole. And here is going to be the center point. We're going to do 3 single crochets in this one hole to keep that point. So 1, back in the same hole, 2, and then back in the same hole, 3. Then you're just going to continue on up. Okay, when you come back, we're going to be joining in this place right here. See you in a moment.